like about Dalton in that stretch, the final 10 minutes of the first half?
Again, I thought he got back to playing, and he understands. And I do think he's learned a lot in the last couple of weeks, where he's realized he's going to have to work harder with getting open. He'll have to work hard to get to his space, but we need him to be aggressive, and again, that was good. I do think he's trying defensively. He had one blunder tonight where he said he heard a ball screen and he jumped to the side and let a person drive right by him. But other than that, I thought he was really locked in and trying to do all the things we've talked about with him.
Coach, speaking of being locked in, are you concerned sometimes when you come back from a layoff like you just had about what kind of effort you're going to get? And I guess, is that a sign of a mature team to execute like your guys did tonight?
Yeah, Robbie, I think it's maybe the longest break I've had personally. I don't remember ever having 5 days off. I would tell you this, I think it should be a requirement for all Division I basketball teams. I think guys need time off at Christmas, and we had such a grueling preseason with the travel that we've done and with the schedule that we played, and I do think not only was it good physically, it was good mentally, and I thought everybody came back and good spirits. Jonas hasn't practiced much. He strained his calf the first night we was here, and that's a tough one to get over with, and he he needs reps in practice. That's when he plays his best basketball. But again, we talked about, we know now we're into conference play, and you want to go into it trying to put together complete games, and when guys really understand the mindset is that if we're going to get consistent, we've got to know what we're going to get every night from those guys. And again, we take our shots, we make them, we miss them at times, we'll keep taking them, but defensively, I thought our guys really stayed locked in and did a lot of good things on the defensive end. I thought our post guys did a good job getting out there on the ball screen covers for the most part. And we played against a team that, you look at them on paper, they're well coached. They drive the ball really hard, they finish well, and they do a great job. They get about 25% of their points from the free throw line. Even though they don't shoot a lot of threes, they've got guys who are capable of doing it. And they're a methodical team too. They're going to run their stuff, execute it well, and we knew that. And again, we played well tonight. We really did in terms of maybe as close to a complete game overall. We need to make layups. We can't leave those on the floor, on the board. But again, I thought the focus has been good since we've been back from Christmas.
Ryan, Reese, Mike, Ben.
Besides those reps in practice, what does Jonas need to do to get back to what he's given y'all the first 9 games of the season?
He needs to, again, he hasn't practiced very much. And again, he hasn't, and I've said all along, Jonas is a guy, because as much as we play in practice, the game's still faster in some ways, and it's not like you get to stop it and redo it and all that. So, Jonas played, what was he tonight? 2 for 8, and rebounded the ball, but 2 turnovers, and how many minutes did he have there? 11 minutes. And but again, Jonas will get back. He will. I'm not worried about it with him. I just want to make sure we get him totally healthy.
Coach back here, how close is Zakai to playing his best ball that you saw tonight?
Well, again, he is getting better and better. You look at it. He's starting to see the game in a great way, helping his teammates get better, and he's starting to see it. And that's what we want to see defensively. As you know, that's where he is a difference maker when he gets up there in the backcourt. And a game he seems to bother somebody back there for a little bit, which is a good thing to try to disrupt the other team. But do I think he's all the way back? I don't, but I think he's getting there.
Yeah, Rick, I want to ask about Zakai too. What has he been doing so well since Maui? It seemed like in that tournament he was still maybe getting his legs, but just looked like he's really been good in the past month or so.
Well, I think it goes back to practice. He does practice hard, but games are faster, quicker. It's not as, obviously we try to simulate game situations as much as we can, but still, we can't always dictate what the other team's going to do. And so I think learning how to get back to reacting and reading defenses the way that he has to at that position, and but also knowing, he's the guy that, when he's open, we think he should shoot it. And but he also wants to get the big guys involved. He wants to get his teammates involved, and he's finding that balance where, you know, he really does. How many assists did he have tonight? I haven't looked at this yet, but I mean, he had
4, I think.
4. We should have had a couple more. We missed some layups that I thought he assisted on it. He should have gotten some, but again, overall, it's just the way he's learning and seeing the game is, and he'll keep getting better with it too.
Rick, I also wanted to ask about Zakai, but wanted to ask about his three-point shooting. He made 5 tonight, which is a career high, and has been hot from 3 of late. But there's been some coaches this season that say that they're kind of surprised by how many he's made in that particular game, and didn't necessarily game plan for Zakai making that many threes. Does that surprise you to hear coaches say that Zakai making X amount of threes is a shock to them and kind of their game plan?
Yeah, it does. I mean, when we recruited him out of high school, we thought he was a scorer, and we thought he really was a dynamic defender. We think anybody that has that size like that has to change the game on the other end down there and play 94 feet. He's one of the few small guys that over the years that I saw that really was willing to get down there and do that. But I mean, I watched it. Back during our individual workouts during the summer. I mean, the guy made 90 out of 100 NBA threes one day. He made 49 straight NBA threes. So I'm not sure where anybody would question him shooting the ball. I mean, the coach will tell him over there, I'm like, why won't he shoot it more? And because when he sees daylight, he's one of those guys that you think is going in. And so I'm not sure how to answer that, because I hope they leave him open. You know, I hope he gets those step-in shots. I do.
What are a few things that Santi does on the court that maybe a casual observer wouldn't pick up on that's so important for you guys?
Defensively, what he does to fix plays. I mean, he's a guy that can single-handedly can cover up a lot of mistakes for his teammates. I would say that he and the older guys do it pretty well, but Santi really anticipates so well. He's so keen to scout reports. He knows it, he watches it, and once the team runs a play, they run it again, he's already thinking about how he can defend it different, how something can happen. He's really, his basketball IQ defensively is there, then offensively, his movement, and the fact that, again, he's another guy that I think should shoot more threes. I mean, you ask how many do I think we should shoot? I'm not, again, when guys are open and guys that we watch shoot at a high level, and our numbers aren't good because we've got some guys struggling, but they have struggled, but you know, I'm not worried about that because I watch this in practice. And one thing I've learned over the years, if you don't make them in practice, you normally don't make them during the game. But if you make them during practice, you feel good that you're not going to make them all, but you feel good that you got a chance to make them. And I watch our guys in practice shoot, make a lot of them, and there's going to be some times this year we make a lot of them. But yet, I will tell you this: we've got to rebound those long rebounds. We got to do a better job of that. That's one thing we do have to do a better job with.
Back here, Coach, what next step does Freddie have to take in order to find more playing time?
Consistency. That's what it's about. I mean, every day I tell those guys, I use the term, I said, I don't want any boxes of Cracker Jacks. I don't want any surprises. I want to know what we're going to get every day. And I think you see it in practice. There's a process that we believe in, we go through. And you go back to Santi and Josiah and Zakai, those guys, and they're older. I think Freddie is not unlike a lot of freshmen that comes in and is so much different than he probably thought. But understanding that you've got to continue to get better every day. You can't stay where you are. You can't plateau this time of year, obviously. But learning the game and learning the urgency of it. There's not a guy on this team that doesn't love Freddie, and there's not one guy on this team that doesn't want to see him what he did tonight. If he could just give us that. It's like I was surprised that JP played 5 minutes. I would have never thought he could be out there 5 minutes. But it goes back. We're doing things in practice with him, making him get out of his comfort zone, making him learn how to fight through the cardio toughness part of it. And Freddie, it's just consistency. And again, I can tell you, everybody in this program is pulling for him to get it.
now than Mike last did.
Coach, what does it say about your defense when the opposing team gets one assist?
Well, again, they are a driving team. They get, I think probably 25% of the points off free throws. And if you look at their numbers, they're an excellent free throw shooting team. And you look at even, I think they had 4 guys over 36% from the three, but they really execute, but they are a driving team that they put their head down and they're good at it. And they got in there and, again, trying to get fouled, and they finished some nice shots in there. And, but that would be my only answer tonight, where they were driving the ball hard and trying to get fouled, and you're not gonna have as many assists when you're playing a lot off the bounce.
Where do you feel like this team is leaving non-conference play? What are the good things and what are the things that you'd like to see change?
Again, I would say coming through if I went back and thought about where the schedule's been great. I mean, I give it to Coach Polinsky. I thought he did a great job trying to put our schedule together in terms of like these bye games here. We really searched out to get quality teams, and the score won't indicate tonight how much of a quality team Norfolk State is. I mean, if you go back and look at who they've won games against and what they've done, and we knew when we played a team like Charleston State, the physicality that they were going to bring, we wanted that in it. We obviously we want to try to play the top 150 if we can in our bye games, but the only thing that we had no control over, to be quite honest with you, was the Carolina game coming back from Maui. We would never put a game like that there. We wouldn't do that, but that's really the worst 20 minutes that we played all year. But again, I'm not taking anything from Carolina because they were great that night and they made us look bad. But it's been a good schedule for us. But you can throw it all out the window now. I mean, SEC conference play. I mean, it's extremely hard to win at home, and it's extremely hard to win on the road. Chris Beard has done a fabulous job already at Ole Miss. Got them off to one of their best starts ever, and he's got guys that are playing with the kind of passion that he coaches with. And I don't think there's an easy game at all in this league, but I don't think it is. I mean, I didn't even realize this until I was walking out tonight to come on the court, and I saw where Creighton, who everybody knows is a great team, they're 0-2 in the league to start with. And it's that kind of league, basketball around the country right now. And our league's not going to be any different.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.